Hello everyone, my name is Thomas Kralow and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, a very special one, the big question: how did I manage to make more than $10 million by the age of 26 years old? And it sounds quite crazy, I know, but this is the reality and that's how it happened. I never imagined that I'm gonna actually do it, that I'm gonna be able to achieve something like this. And I reached this goal basically like 2 years ago when my net worth hit 10 million. But in this video, I wanted to just share my journey, where I come from, what I did and who I am, and how did this whole thing happen. Was I born into a rich family or whatever? So I'm gonna disperse some of the myths as well. I was born into a regular family in Europe, and we didn't really have too much in our life. My father left us when I was like 2 years old. He donated everything he had to a church. There was a time when my mother had to heat up my baby food on a fucking candle. So this is the time that I've actually, I remember some of that, like really, really bad time from my childhood. So I didn't really have any examples like what my father does. I think he's still alive. I don't know what he looks like. So I think that anyone in my position would normally believe that nothing is possible, that you must be a slave in the system, that you cannot have your $100,000 watch and live in a $5 million penthouse at the age of 28. But here I am. I'm breaking all the stereotypes. And how I really got here is by the belief system that it's possible and that all you have to do is say yes at certain turning points. And that turning point for me was trading. So basically, my story as a human being started back in the United States. That's where I lived for many, many years when I was younger. That's where I was also attending school, and I was preparing. I really wanted to become a lawyer because I believed that lawyers make a lot of money. Only then I realized lawyers are not the people who make the most money. The most money is made by asset managers. So then I thought that, okay, 9 out of 10 billionaires have made money, at least in some way, in asset management. So that means that they took somebody's money, they utilized it, so they deployed it and they made other people money, and they just took a commission. That's the way I have to go in. But I didn't really know where to start. So, and just by the miracle of chance, by imagining that I get myself a mentor who's gonna teach me all the ins and outs of the financial world, because let's be honest, you cannot learn these things in school. They don't teach you to be a trader. They don't teach you to understand macroeconomics or geopolitics or technical analysis or, level 2 analysis, etc. So you really need someone to learn from. So, and that's when I met my mentor who actually taught me how to trade. And that was when my life really shifted from pursuing a law degree and desiring to become a lawyer to becoming a trader, which I really thought I will never become because I didn't even know where to learn this stuff. So, and that's how I became a trader, and it was basically like 9 years ago at this point. And that's when I moved back to Europe and spent quite a lot of time learning from this individual. It was a very epic journey, and I almost failed at the very beginning. And that's what every trader has to be prepared for, is to, regardless of whom you learn from, in the very beginning, you shouldn't start with a lot of money. You should start with a small amount of money, or the best really is to start with demo trading and go through proper practice stages of trading instead of even putting $1, because it doesn't really make any sense. And then when after 1,000 trades, you see that out of 1,000 trades you had 450 profitable. This was your take profit to stop loss ratio. This was your psychology. This is how you followed all the rules. And then when you see that overall you cracked a good profit systematically, that's when you actually go and trade with real money. And that's when you get into real money trading with a small amount of money. And I didn't have this patience. And my mentor was like, oh, it's easy, just go and do. It was a big mistake. I almost lost all of my money. And then as I progressed, I had to quit everything. I had to stop to recollect my thoughts. Then I got back into trading. And by the way, if you're interested in learning trading, then there are a bunch of links down in the description of this video. That's where you will find a link to my free Discord channel where people can learn how to trade, see how professionals take their trades, what are the stop losses, take profits, and where to close the trades, all the reasonings, technical and macro and fundamental reasonings for every single trade. So if you're interested, and it's absolutely free, then go down below and join us. And a funny story was my first job, actually. My first job was on a construction site when I was a teenager, and I got fired from it. You know why? Because I wasn't doing shit. I saw these guys who were like 50 years old. They were drinking pretty much every day, and they were carrying bags of cement, 25 kilos each, to 5th floor by a staircase. And they were making like literally $500 a month. So it was just unbelievable. And I was making like $300, $200, something very funny. I realized that I better just take, my rice sandwiches that my grandmother made me, and I can just hide in a room because it was a big construction site, and just pretend I'm working when I was actually sleeping. And then after a few weeks, they found out that I wasn't doing shit, so I got fired. And actually my second job, and it was my second and last job I've ever had in my entire life, and that was in a library in New York, where I was working as a student librarian, and I was like an assistant to the students at a help desk. And there were two help desks, and I was actually constantly, whomever came to my desk, I would send them over to the next fucking desk. So, and the library soon realized it, and I got fired. So, and that was my experience of having an official job. And after all of, ridiculous amount of learning that I've done with my mentor when it comes to trading, I started with $15,000, which was a huge mistake. This was the money I saved up in New York. I was a hustler. I am a hustler till this day. I suppose it's in my blood. I was buying and selling stuff, electronics, cars, furniture. Furniture mostly I got for free on Craigslist. Those of you who know Craigslist, make some noise down in the comments. So anyway, 15K was left. That's the money I put into my first trading deposit, and I lost 11,000 of that money in basically the first few weeks. It was the most devastating time of my life. From that point, when I actually lost almost the whole first trading deposit, it took me a few years to get my first million. It was a very tough time, but then I actually grew into it and I understood how the market works, and the market was on my side and I was doing really well. So, and basically I made a few mil after that, and that's when I realized that I have a few million. This is a job as a retail trader is very complicated and very stressful and very high risk, that I needed to come to asset management. So by the way, at which I am right now, because I just launched recently my own crypto hedge fund, which is just incredible. But I had to connect it somehow between me as a retail trader and into a hedge fund manager. And instead of going and working in this shit slave system, which was just ridiculous to get into, I had to build this road myself. So what I did was join social media. So I became a blogger. I started my education business, which I have a lot of different courses and educational programs on affiliate marketing, on how to create courses. Then we did the big education on crypto investing as well as trading, which got me a lot of attention because it's really good, because it's real, based on real experience, which made me millions. And then it progressed into creating my own reality show, building my own brand, now into a real estate company that also brought me some attention in Dubai from wealthy people with some money. And we done also bestinvesting.tips, which also brought me a lot of attention. So a few startups that we've done. So, and it all allowed me to build a network of people who follow me that now I can convert into my own hedge fund, which in turn is gonna allow me to finally go from a net worth, which I'm sitting at about, total net worth of all the companies and stuff, at about 20 million right now. And I mean, it's growing very fast despite the recession. If not for the recession, probably it would be like 30, 40 million at this point. It's crazy, but it's just the way it is. But the problem is that all these companies can give you a net worth of, if I really keep banging on this door in the next 5 years, maybe 100 mil. But 100 mil is boring. I need to get to $1 billion in the next 3 to 5 years. And by the way, if you're interested in this journey, subscribe. I'm gonna share all this with you, no problem. All right, just to wrap it up, guys and girls, my journey has been long. It's been 10 years, so I didn't come here in 2 days. My biggest suggestion to any one of you who wants to get to a certain level in life and, achieve certain financial standing, I would suggest just believe in yourself. Because if you will always see me, Thomas Kralow, riding along in a golden Rolls Royce, you'll think, oh, he's the criminal. No, remember, I've worked for my money. I've created things, and so can you. And I believe that every single human being comes across opportunities. Just the big question is, do you say yes to those opportunities or do you say no? That's it. Guys and girls, peace and love. Thomas Kralow. Join our Discord channel right now if you're interested in trading. Stay smart, stay rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.